A city burns, its clay tablets harden like brick. Disaster becomes an archive. Inside the ash, a script of wedges waits. It was born to count, yet it holds myths. Here's the paradox. Counting led to poetry. A tally of grain becomes law. Prayers grow from ration lists. Our trail starts between the Tigris and Euphrates. In these plains, temples count the surplus. And this is where everything changes. Uruk rises with walls and a ziggurat. Scribes press reeds into wet clay. Marks track sheep. These first tablets date to 3400 BCE. They're not prayers. They are accounts. Ration lists fill the clay squares. Worker tallies line each row. The oldest writing serves management. But the story doesn't end there. The signs begin to shift. Before tablets, there were tokens. Small clay shapes stood for goods. Some sat sealed in clay envelopes. Impressions on the shell mirrored the count. Archaeologist Denise Schmant-Besserat traced this path. Her model links tokens, bully, and tablets. The idea sounds neat at first. Later studies add nuance and debate. But the trend toward abstraction holds. Pictograms turn sideways and simplify. Wedges replace lines as the reed twists. And a key leap arrives. Scribes start using signs for sounds. Names can now be written, not just goods. Phonetics cracks the door to stories. Schools rise, called Edubba, the tablet houses. Students copy signs on lentil tablets. A master watches as a pupil presses a wedge. He fixes the angle and the stroke. Years of drills hone 600 common signs. A class of scribes takes shape. But there's a problem. The system is both rich and heavy. Sumerian grammar pulls the script one way, Akkadian pulls it another. Sumerian is agglutinative and ergative, Akkadian is Semitic with triliteral roots. Scribes adapt with grit, they add syllables and silent markers. Determinatives flag gods, cities, or metals. They are never read aloud. They steer the reader through choices. A sign can mean a word or a syllable. No one expected what came next. Akkadian cuneiform becomes a diplomatic tool. At Amarna, foreign courts write in it. It turns into a Near Eastern lingua franca. Hittite scribes learn the wedges. Elamite and Hurrian clerks do the same. The script is not a language at all. It is a shared technology of writing. Dozens of tongues ride the same wedges. This reach makes its fall even stranger. And that detail is about to change everything. Because power now runs through clay. Archives swell in temples and palaces. Shelves hold rows of clay packets. Nippur yields tens of thousands of tablets. They span from the 3rd to 1st millennia BCE. Uruk gives the oldest tablets on record. Shows court ledgers and royal graves. In Nineveh, a king builds a true library. Assurbanipal orders copies from everywhere. Over 30,000 tablets fill his rooms. Ebla's storerooms break open in Syria. Mari adds royal letters by the thousands. Then fire strikes again. Palaces burn, beams fall, and roofs collapse. Wood vanishes, but clay survives the heat. Flame bakes the tablets hard as stone. Disaster becomes preservation. Ancient wars create modern archives. Tablets come in many shapes and sizes. Some fit a palm, others span both hands. Prisms hold long texts for study. Styluses are cut reeds with a wedge tip. But copying clay is slow, and errors creep into strokes. Yet depth grows inside these signs. Law codes appear on stone and clay. Ur-Nammu sets early rules for justice. Hammurabi carves laws on a black steel. Myths, hymns, and wisdom fill the shelves. A king named Gilgamesh takes the stage. His tale spans loss, quest, and pride. A scribe compiles a standard Akkadian version. His name is Sin-lik-Unini. One tablet tells of a world flood. It predates similar lines in Genesis. What researchers discover next is even more surprising. In 1872, George Smith reads that flood aloud. The room falls silent at the parallels. Ancient lines unsettle modern beliefs. The past speaks through wedges and gaps. It forces new questions on origins. Here's our first reveal. A tool for rations births high literature. The same script frames gods and grain. Utility and art now share one desk. But the script still hides another secret, its silence for 2 millennia. Europeans dig the mounds in the 1800s. Ruins of Nineveh and Nimrod reappear. Paul-Émile Botta opens Khorsabad. Austin Henry Layard clears vast halls. Hormuzd Rassam lifts crates of tablets. Museums in London and Paris swell. But the signs still refuse to speak. A cliff in Iran holds the key. Its name is Behistun. Darius orders a trilingual text carved high. Old Persian, Elamite, and Babylonian share a wall. And a soldier scholar risks his neck. Henry Rawlinson scales the rock and copies lines. He cracks Old Persian using Indo-European links. Then he moves to the Babylonian signs. He is not alone in this race. Grotefend, Hinks, and Oppert push too. Hinks spots that signs can carry many values. Oppert argues for a distinct Sumerian tongue. In 1857, a test checks their readings. 4 experts match translations under seal. But the chase costs time and blood, and it triggers a new science. Assyriology is born in lecture halls. Forgotten cities regain their voices. Scholars sort myths from ledgers. They rebuild calendars, maps, and cures. Now look inside a typical line. A logogram sits beside a syllable. A silent determinative marks a god's name. Practice makes the system flow. About 600 signs see daily use. Many have 2 or more values. But the real answer was hiding in plain sight. This mix grants both power and pain. It can write any idea with care, yet it takes years to master. Neuroscience hints at a cognitive twist. Logographic reading fires different circuits. Computers now scan and tag broken shards. Digitized signs feed AI for joins. Old archives gain new life online. Clay meets code in a fresh alliance. But origins still stir debate. Did writing spark once or many times? Some argue for one Mesopotamian source. Others see separate births across regions. Uruk shows the earliest secure tablets. That alone does not end the quarrel. Trade routes could spread the idea fast. Similar needs could spark it twice. What we can film is the uptake. Hittites and Elamites borrow the wedges. Achaemenid Persians craft a lean set. Old Persian uses a distinct cuneiform set. Persian kings carve it on rock walls. And that sets up the next twist. Power shapes the script, and the script shapes power. Diplomats trust it for treaties and oaths. Merchants use it for debt and land. Scribes hold status as keepers of truth. Their seals stamp clay like signatures. Yet alphabets rise across the Near East. Alphabetic scripts spread across regions. Aramaic letters flood bureaus and markets. Cuneiform begins to lose ground. But why switch from wedges to letters? The answer sits in the workload. Alphabets use under 40 signs. Cuneiform classrooms drill hundreds. Letters take fewer signs to learn. Strokes per word drop for daily use. Aramaic becomes the empire's daily script. Orders travel lighter and cheaper. Tablets still serve ritual and science. Astronomers keep logs late into the era. Babylon writes in wedges through 75 CE. Then the lights dim for good. The last scribe sets down his stylus. But the clay did not forget. Modern digs unroll this deep record. We see diets, debts, and gods in detail. We learn how writing rewired thought. It freed memory from the body. It scaled trust beyond face to face. Here's another reveal. Accounting breeds abstraction without plan. A mark for sheep births a sign for sound. A warehouse yields an epic and a law. But we still face a last paradox. The medium is fragile yet eternal. Clay survives fires that erase libraries. Hard drives fail without a whisper. A palace blaze can cook a book to life. A server crash can kill a decade. So teams rush to copy every shard. They scan edges, joins, and thumbprints. New tools link fragments across museums. A broken verb finds its missing wedge. A flood tale gains a new line, yet some signs remain mute. Gaps still haunt the longest texts. And that keeps the mystery alive. What began in a temple storehouse changed us. It taught cities to think in records. It taught poets to sing in clay. Then alphabets took the crown. Speed and spread won the day. The contradiction still stands in our hands. Tools for grain counted stars and souls. A wedge on clay outlived empires. Its last echo rings from a baked shard. Picture a scribe by lamplight in Uruk. His reed slips, and a world takes shape.